Hey everybody, I would like to weigh in on this Michael Jordan versus LeBron. Okay, I'm one of probably a few people who was able to see Michael Jordan and Kobe and LeBron all play in their primes. Okay, LeBron right now is still riding his prime. I don't think he's at the top of his prime, but he's riding at the end of his prime, okay? So, can't we all agree that all of these players are great in their own right? We shouldn't have to cuss and fuss and fight and disrespect somebody just because we have a difference of opinion. Now, you can't also say someone is better strictly based upon stats. Stats prove nothing in the sense of against tough defenses, physicality, competition, and the list goes on. You have to factor in who they played against, the rules of the game when they played, the people they beat, all of that determines. So if it's easy defense and you score 40 points a game, like today's NBA, according to NBA players. This isn't according to me. This is according to NBA players who have played in previous years, during the Michael Jordan era and even before. But definitely during the Isaiah Thomas, Magic Johnson, Michael Jordan era, Dr. J era. People forget about that. Those guys were also dominating the 80s when Jordan entered into the league. These guys were no slouch athletically. And by skill level, they would actually, by today's standards, be more skilled than a lot of today's players. Today's players are more athletically gifted because of what they saw Michael Jordan and Dr. J and what these guys did to change the game to more than just shooting shots and basic. The 80s was when Isaiah Thomas, Magic Johnson, not only Dr. J, but Larry Bird, the Bad Boy Pistons we see, New York Knicks, all of these guys, these kinds of teams. Charles Barkley, who was a power forward who could shoot like a guard. Interesting. Dennis Rodman, who was a defensive genius. He would fire up a team with his defense, the way LeBron fires up a team with his offense. So, you factor in a lot of different things when you say who's the greatest, who's the best. And I don't think it's fair to skip over Kobe and just say Jordan and LeBron. 5 rings still matter. Okay? Kobe faced tough competition. He still played it at the end of Jordan's era. Okay? He also played during the what we call old NBA of tough physicality and new NBA today. Okay? Where it's definitely a guards game. And a lot of it being a guards game, really you have to attribute to really Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen, because they both played lockdown defense. They also played high scoring. They also did assists. They got a lot of steals. Each was on a defensive team at least 8 to 9 times. Okay, so when you factor in all of that, the fact that they had that kind of mindset, we ain't going to just score and do assists. Man, we're going to get rebounds, we're going to get defense, we're going to do whatever it takes to win. And if that meant making you feel like crap, that's how they played. I'm not saying that is right, but that's how they played. Okay? But in their era, because the guys they were playing against was more physical, would throw you in the floor, grab you in midair while you're going to the basket. You don't see a lot of that today. Or hand check you, grab you while you shooting a 3-point out on or grab you while you at the perimeter and throw you down on the floor. A lot of that doesn't happen today. It's not even allowed. They call it flagrant fouls today. That wasn't even in Michael Jordan's era. Okay, so 3-pointers was not that popular. So you have to factor in all of these things before you say a player is the absolute greatest. Stats is not enough. So let me throw some names out there. Kobe Bryant, Jerry Stackhouse, Allen Iverson, Paul Pierce, Kevin Garnett, Shaquille O'Neal, David Robinson, Tim Duncan, the greatest power forward of all time, according to a lot of people. You know, Hakeem Olajuwon, one of the greatest centers of all time, right behind Kareem. Matter of fact, Shaq could not even stop Kareem. And Hakeem, the Dream, Hakeem Olajuwon, is one of LeBron's mentors. He taught LeBron a lot about foot movement and posting up. So again, when you factor in all of these guys, Magic Johnson, Larry Bird, Isaiah Thomas as well, Bad Boy Pistons, you know, Dr. J's 76ers, you know, Parrish, all of these guys. The list goes on and on and on and on. Penny Hardaway, Dominique Wilkins, Spudwell, the Muggsy Bogues, Larry Johnson, Alonzo Mourning. The NBA was loaded with good big men that could score and play defense and throw you to the floor, as well as guards that would try to do the same thing. Okay, so you factor in all of that, and all of these guys I just mentioned were either very, very fast or very, very strong, and sometimes both. So they were athletically gifted too. So this is the era Jordan played in. Reggie Miller said, I would have loved to see what LeBron and Kevin Durant would have done with all of that. But he also said LeBron, Kobe, which we saw Kobe do in both eras before he was injury prone and older. Reggie Miller said that Kevin Durant and LeBron would have been able to, at some point, adjust their game to the physicality and still be great. Now, most NBA players would also agree that LeBron would not be as dominant during the Jordan era because of how the game was played then. Plus, Michael Jordan himself. So, yeah, you got to factor that in. Prime Mike. We're not talking about Wizards Mike, okay? We ain't talking. Wizards Mike was okay, but Chicago Bulls Mike was unstoppable. Defense and offense, okay? So, factor in all of these things. You know, you got to look at all of this stuff, not just stats. So, competition, you know, all of that. So that's my take on who's better, Jordan versus LeBron. I think they're both great in their own right. I think they're totally two different players. And I think people should not just compare them based upon stats. I would take right now, if I'm going to win championships, I'm going with Michael Jordan. If I want a guy that can get a team together and facilitate, then I would go with LeBron. LeBron, to me, is more like Scottie Pippen and Magic Johnson. That's my personal opinion. He's a leader, but a different kind of leader. So, that's my take. I think Jordan is better one-on-one. If you say LeBron stopped Michael, LeBron hasn't seen anybody like Michael before in his whole era of basketball. We saw Kobe Bryant shoot over LeBron, and that's the closest thing we saw to Michael Jordan in this generation has saw. I've seen them all. And those three guys, Jordan, Kobe, and LeBron in their primes. This generation has not. They watch videos that play in slow motion and old clips. We saw them play live. Okay? So I think they're all great. LeBron's a top 5 all-time player. But I will never base my decision strictly upon stats. You have to win championships. You got to beat tough competition. You got to be able to understand the kind of defenses that are being thrown at you, which today, defense is not that great. It's more about scoring, and it's not as physical. So, yeah, everybody can drive to the basket. Everybody can shoot open three-pointers. You know, personally, I don't even like playing with teams like that, even in the street ball. If you're not going to play defense, you are not playing with me. And if I'm coaching the team and you don't play defense, I don't care if you do 30 points a game, you are not playing with me because you got to stop the other team. It doesn't matter how many points you put up. You got to stop the other team from scoring. And so that's my take.